Hello, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Sir, your name?
Jonathan Irvin.
And where are we at and what's going on here today?
I'm running for mayor of Lancaster.
And what's going on?
So I'll tell you what's going on. This is an open conversation, so I'm going to have a conversation with you and the voter. My name is Jonathan Irvin, born and raised in Flint, Michigan. Raised by my grandparents, humble beginnings. My grandfather was a post office worker. My grandmother was a nurse, took care of the elderly till she was elderly. I got out of Flint, Michigan through the United States Air Force, in which I got stationed all around the world. And how did I get here? I got to Lancaster through Edwards Air Force Base, where I was stationed, working a special program at the time called Global Hawk. After I was stationed there, I spent 10 and a half years in active duty, and then got off of active duty and went to Air Force Reserve. In the Air Force Reserve, I thought my career was going to slow down. I wasn't going to deploy anymore. Ended up being deployed 11 to 13 times over to South Korea. And so thought it was going to slow down. It didn't. Worked for Defense, worked for Raytheon here in the Valley, also worked for Northrop Grumman on several programs, different programs I can talk about, some I can't. As an engineering manager, I manage teams improving defense software and hardware, testing it all around the world. From there, I got involved in local government as a planning commissioner. Was on the planning commission about a year and a half, and that ended after a year and a half, and I went on to run for city council, and this time around I'm running for mayor. Would love to have your vote. So first I wanted to start off with some of the priorities that I believe we should have day one, and that's changing the election and consolidating it in November. A lot of folks don't know there's an election. Obviously, there's a mail-in ballot only. There are no polls, and a lot of folks are feeling that, hey, are they trying to hide the election from us? What's going on? I believe that needs to be changed. We want maximum participation in our elections. We would do that day one. Obviously, we have other issues. Number one, crime. Nobody feels safe. You can quote all the statistics you want to quote, but at the end of the day, if your families don't feel safe, we're not safe in Lancaster. And so the first thing with crime is ensuring that we have enough police officers on the beat, which we don't. Understanding the issues with LA County, but in Lancaster, we need a collaborator. We don't need someone that burns bridges and attacks everyone. You're going to get a collaborator with me, and I believe I can talk to the county and get some more cooperation with getting more police officers. I also believe we need to recruit police officers from within. Community policing is big with me. We need to get police officers that represent the community, and that will build trust between the community and at large, the government, the community and the government and the police, the sheriffs. Then, workforce development. My granddad used to tell me, idle hands are the devil's tools. I believe this to be true. We need to have every able-bodied person working, and I believe workforce development is a key to stopping what crime, the cause of crime. We need to start at the beginning, and that is folks having opportunities to work a mortgage-paying job. Why do I say a mortgage-paying job? Well, we coined this term in 2014 because when you talk about a good paying job or fair wage, nobody really knows what that means. A mortgage paying job is a job you can actually see. It's a vision. It's where we need to go when we talk about wages. A mortgage paying job. Understanding a lot of folks are copying that phrase, but I need them to. Everybody needs to understand this is what we need here in the Antelope Valley. Number two, homelessness. Big issue. We need to be firm, but also empathetic. Every one of these homeless folks is a person. They have names. They have families. We need to ensure that we're focusing on what we need to when we talk about the homeless. Number one, I think the current administration is building homes. We're going to continue to do that. Building housing. Number two, we need to ensure that There are wraparound services for our homeless population, for the unhoused, which means getting them into interim housing, ensuring that they get the substance abuse or mental health treatment that they need, and then assessing, doing casework, which I think is missing right now, doing the casework to ensure that they are being monitored and able to get to where they need to go, get them cleaned up and get them working. As I said before, I believe idle hands are the devil's tools, like my grandfather said. We need to make sure every able-bodied person can work. And finally, a lot of the nonprofits in the Antelope Valley, and I think different nonprofits are doing great things, but you need a leader that's going to have the nonprofits work together, get them together instead of the stovepipe way that they're doing it in the silos. We need to get the collaboration where each nonprofit is doing exactly what they've been created to do, but they need to be working in collaboration together. I think we could do a lot of great work with that. Having said all that about the homelessness issue, I think if we focus on those things, we can lower our homelessness problem. May not always eliminate it, but we're going to get it a lot lower than it is today. Finally, jobs. Mortgage paying job is something, local mortgage paying jobs is something that I believe every person should have the ability to work. It's called the dignity of hard work. We need to make sure everybody in the Antelope Valley, we've got a lot of commuters, maybe like 75,000 going down and commuting each day. That's absolutely ridiculous, knowing that we don't get our fair share of resources from the state or the county. How do we bring jobs here? May not sound sexy to you, but it is infrastructure spending. We need to ensure that we get the infrastructure that we need that can support the housing, that can support the people, that can support the amount of traffic that we're going to have. That infrastructure spending, I believe we've lost out on billions of infrastructure spending due to the combative relationships that we've torn down at our county and state levels. We could get a lot more resources, and we deserve these commuters. When we spend in infrastructure, what I see in the vision of the future is going to be more private industry moving in, a four-year university, a VA hospital. All of these things can come to the Antelope Valley, but we need the infrastructure to support these things for private industry, what I call avenues of commerce. The science has proven once you start developing your area, once you start investing in your infrastructure, private industry will come through. And so I want to open it up to more questions and things that folks may have. And we collected some questions because we got a campaign phone that folks have been calling and asking about, hey, what are we going to do to improve our city? What's going on with all the dumping? What's going on with the Lancaster aggregate, the community solar electric company that we have? Well, the electric company, I know, the current administration has said that we get 30 million extra a year from this. Well, government isn't necessarily a private business. That money should go back to the people, and we need to ensure that those resources are being used to improve the quality of life of the people that live in the Antelope Valley. Let me take a drink here. I'm not going to attack any of my opponents, but I do want to address, since there's been some things sent out in the mail and digital about me being a criminal. In fact, this individual has also called me a gangster candidate, which made the Associated Press, and it's actually ridiculous. So let me address that this last time. I was active duty around 2004. A lot of times when you deploy a lot, I try to spend as much time at home. This particular night, having to drive to the airport, I stayed a little too late and I left the house and I was speeding. Got a speeding ticket on my deployment. After I deployed, I missed the court date because I was on deployment. And once you miss a court date, then you get into more trouble and it piles up. So when I came back off of my deployment, my leadership and I went and we cleared it up. That doesn't make me a criminal. It's a speeding ticket. And I think folks should be really ashamed at bringing out accusations such as this. I have a top secret clearance. I've had a top secret clearance for 26 years. And I would doubt some of my opponents would be able to attain a clearance. One of those reasons is our current government has done a lot of things, been really too close to China. As a defense contractor's work programs here, I understand that there is espionage going on every single day when you talk about our defense programs. Our defense programs need to be defended. We have a legacy of aerospace. Not only do I want to keep that legacy, but I want to expand it. The diversity of making our economy diverse is very important as well. So we need more than defense. And that infrastructure spending I talked about will make sure that we do that. And so I wanted to talk about those few things that we had. And I don't know if I missed anything. Let me go to some other things that we may want to talk about. So I've heard the FBI is in town, understand the rumors about that. Not going to focus on that too much, but what I will say is when the FBI is in town, that means there's RICO, corruption, espionage, a lot of things, bad things that could be going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know exactly what the investigation is about, but I can tell you they're going to get to the bottom of it, and you can ensure someone that you're electing with a top secret clearance wouldn't be involved in any of those types of things. I believe our area could be a lot better, but we need collaboration between Palmdale and Lancaster. It shouldn't be a contentious relationship, and I'm also not going to put my hands into Palmdale government too much. The current administration has invested a lot of money in the candidates so he can tell them what to do. That's an unfortunate thing. I'm more of a collaborator than a dictator, than an authoritarian, which, I believe the current administration does a lot of authoritative tactics that we're not going to participate in that. So I do believe this interview has been great. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. I have a phone number. It's 661-636. What's the rest of the number? 636?
3984.
636-3984. This number again is 661-636-3984. That number, you can reach me directly. We can go more in detail on all of my views, everything that, any questions or concerns, I'll pick up. Voters have called me anytime. April 9th is, I want to get into how to vote right now. You should have received a mail-in ballot. If you didn't receive it, you need to contact the city, 661-723-6020. They will get you a ballot. The 25th was the last day to register to vote. So those folks, hopefully if you're not registered to vote, you can still phone bank for us. You can still volunteer for us. We would love volunteers. Reach out to me. I'll talk to anybody about issues, get into real details we don't want to get into here. 661-636-3889. 3984. Thanks, you got it memorized already. But my name is Jonathan Irvin. I appreciate this time today, and I hope everybody turns in their ballot prior to April 9th. And I would appreciate consideration for your vote. Thank you.
And as we always say, everybody, God bless, have a blessed day, and we will talk to you all soon.